we are seeing a significant reemergence of municipal services networks for various government entities in North America. And I think it has a lot to do with three key issues. I think the first thing is 802.11n kind of changes the game for everyone here. You're talking about quantum leaps forward in terms of capacity and speed, and the ability to deploy infrastructure, much more efficiently and much less infrastructure to be able to cover a desired geographic area. The second thing I think really makes a municipal services network make a much more sense today as in the past is the proliferation of devices that can operate on those particular networks. So now you think about maybe 5 years ago, maybe your laptop was able to access the network, but your cell phone rarely could. There weren't any other iPads weren't out there back then. But today, virtually every device is equipped 802.11 ready. The last element from a municipal perspective is I think we've learned the economics of when you build a municipal services network, you must have an anchor tenant. And governments are learning that they must be that anchor tenant, and they will derive the greatest benefit because they're deploying these networks in ways and running applications that will generate a lot of revenue or enable them to capture additional revenues for the governments or for the municipalities. And I think Motorola is very well positioned in this area from a wireless perspective because we take a very holistic approach to building a wireless network. And I like to break it down into three different components of a wireless network. The first is the access layer. So do you have the devices? Do you have the access points? Can you build that in that? Is that part of your portfolio? Is that part of your offering when you build a wireless network for a municipality? The next layer would be the distribution layer. So at your tower sites or in your buildings or at your network switches, how you move that data from distribution out to the individual user or out to the access point. And again, it's a situation where you have to have both licensed and unlicensed offering in a variety of frequency bands. Because one of the things you need to realize in the government space is there is somewhat limited spectrum resources available to governments. And the third layer would be your backhaul layer. So how are you going to move those large volumes of data, or how from point A to point B? How do you bring them back to a fusion center? How do you bring them back to a data center? Or in public safety, a command center, for example, trying to move large packets of video so they can see what's going on in a particular incident. And again, Motorola offers both licensed and unlicensed in a variety of frequency bands. And then we take those three layers and we wrap them with a solution we call the One-Point Wireless Manager Suite, which gives you the ability of every single component in your wireless network. You can manage it centrally. You can configure the network centrally. You can plan for the network centrally, and you can can run error reports or get error reporting from one central location, which has been a significant challenge for CIOs and IT managers in the past.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very cool.